Good morning, Panther fans. I hereby declare every game starts 2-2, start of overtime. Just why waste our time? Why spend the 2.5 hours? We know what's coming. We're going to either get the lead and lose it or get behind and come back. And we're either going to win the game with a minute left or we're going to go to overtime. And that's that. And Paul Maurice must go to bed like stiff every night from how these games are going. Good morning, guys. How you doing, Stu?
7-4-1.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it?
No.
And we got a game in hand.
I know.
So, and just, obviously can't look back, but, think about a couple of the games that we lost. I mean, we lost a Bruin game up 2-0.
Yeah.
So, anyway, as I mentioned on Twitter yesterday, and this is what we talked about before the season started, we needed to be in the mix when the boys come back.
Right.
And I would think Maurice is, team needs more improvement, but I think Maurice should be pretty satisfied where we're at.
Yeah.
We're not 6-6 because we played 12 games.
Right.
We're not a 500 team.
Yeah.
So I did watch some of the recap, and you said something about us not playing full game. I thought we played hand in hand with those guys last night. I didn't think we had that brain fart second period where we just fell asleep. I mean, it's unfortunate that got something in my eye.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that one puck, the first goal, I think bounced off one of our guys. That's why Bob missed it, because it changed direction.
Yeah.
And then who was it? Lucian. Somebody flubbed it at the point. And
you talking about the shorthanded goal? Because that was no. The shorty was Larson. What happened was Larson was at the blue line and he pulled a neck blade because the puck was loose in the crease and it started coming towards him, but there was a Capitals player. And instead of Larson just start backing up to play defense, he took a step forward to try to get to the puck first. He was never going to get there.
Right.
The guy blew by Larson.
Pulled the neck blade. That's funny.
It's true.
Pulled the neck blade 2.0. Yandel was the original guy to do that.
Yeah. Now Stu's got his garbage, man. By the way, good morning, Stu and AJ.
No, it's one of those old people pickup buses.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Dustin and AJ in the chat. Good morning, guys.
The game was on national TV. Yeah. I always love it when we win on national TV. Yeah. The way we won it was great. So let's just zero in on the defense right now, because I've been hearing, a lot of people tell me Riley sucks and this and that. Get Belinkus back in there. I don't think he played a bad game, but you're right. Something's happened with the dynamic of the defense, and they're definitely not playing as a 6-man unit the way they were playing. But and again, tell me specifically what you think, what made him have a bad game.
Well, the two things was the bad giveaway. Well, it wasn't a bad giveaway. He had the puck in the offensive zone. He tries to dump it deep, and he didn't get enough on it. And that's when Capitals came down, and that's when they took the lead. And then he, when the play was just about over, just for no reason whatsoever, cross-checked his man into the net.
Oh, right. Okay, that was bad.
And took a bad late penalty in the third period that could have cost us the game. And let's just put it this way. Belinskis may not be Forsling, but we weren't calling his name making those mistakes.
Yeah, as far as the thing with the cross-check, 9 out of 10 times, guys do it in the corner and don't get called.
Right.
So...
Right. Well, I think it's because he cross-checked him right into the net.
Yeah, it was right in front of him.
Yeah, it's just.
But that one of the goals, and I don't know if it was the second goal or the third goal, Cousins misplayed the puck in our zone, and they kept the puck in the zone and ended up scoring.
Yeah.
Didn't happen right away. It happened, whatever.
Yeah.
We also got lucky with that offside. That was close as it gets.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the guy, number 2 guy. Again, it used to be the Rat, and then Gudis, and then Tom Wilson. I don't know. Tom Wilson is getting up there 1-1 with the Rat. I don't even mention the Rat from Boston. I don't even mention his name as the dirtiest player in the league.
Right.
That Slewfoot, number 1, should have been called. Number 2, again, that's a intention to injure.
Right. And
Because
look,
the guy could throw out a knee.
right.
He's constantly. Now, he had a good check on, I think it was Ryan. He had a good check against the center boards.
Yeah.
But he's a dirty player.
He's a
I'm
dirty
sorry.
player.
He's a good player.
Look,
Just like Marchand. He's a good player, but
right.
he's dirty.
It was so bad that the TNT announcers called it out.
Yeah.
So, when the Panthers get love on national, you know that's something. But like you said, man, I mean, just 7-4-1 and without Bennett, we're
they keep talking about Montour and Ekblad, but they're just I'm not going to say ignoring the fact, but the fact that they're not talking about Bennett and what he brings to the team. I mean, these guys obviously don't really follow the team.
right.
And I'll tell you, making the finals last year has just put the Panthers on the map as far as, the constant discussion, because I was watching the NHL Network and the same thing. I mean, everybody wants to see what the Panthers do this year after making the finals last year. Like, they're making it seem like it was a fluke. They don't mention that we beat the Bruins, the team with the best regular season record in NHL history. They don't mention Toronto with big Austin Matthews. And then they don't talk about the sweep of Carolina, who's not a pushover team.
Yeah.
So, that kind of pissed me off. But again, anytime we win on national TV, it's a lot more viewers. And
I mean, we had
holy shit, what a pass by, first of all,
both
the Rodriguez pass to Barkov was tape to tape, beautiful.
Right.
And then Barkov with his hockey IQ. I don't know. Do you think that was banging it off the boards was on purpose, or you think he was just trying to pass it to him?
I mean, I think it all looked on purpose to me, to be honest with you. But just the way it got finished off, especially with Reinhardt, and that move, that's a
Barkov move. I saw.
That's an $8 million move. That's what that is.
He did that in Dallas a few years ago. Same thing where he fakes the backhand. But remember, we talked about a couple of videos ago the carom off the boards or the hitting. That Mahura thing was perfect.
Yeah.
Can't get any more perfect than that in the opposing team's arena.
Right. No, it was.
But, 15 seconds.
I
the
know,
only thing that was missing, and I put it on Twitter. Let's go home, baby.
And what's funny is Tance was in the chat, and right as overtime started, he said the Capitals suck. The Panthers are going to score on their first possession. And 15 seconds later, it's exactly what happened. He said, "This is good." He totally called it.
Well, what's working is the 3 forwards and the speed of those 3 players, the chemistry of those 3 players. It's funny because Washington put out 3 forwards also. Right. So maybe the teams in the league are starting to think about that you don't necessarily have to have a defenseman out there.
Right. Well,
and the 3-on-3 game is all about speed and taking advantage of mistakes. Most of the goals that I see in overtime are off a mistake, like the Zaka goal.
Yeah.
Whoever shot the puck it didn't hit the net. It went all the way around, and we were caught. So listen, I'll take it. I don't know. Is that 3 wins in overtime now?
Well, I know it's 2 in a row, right? Maybe. I mean, let's just put it this way. well, I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx it. But what I'll say is I don't remember the last time we lost in overtime. Literally. Like we'd have to Google that. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's just crazy. I think
7-4.
actually the game that ended the 6-game win streak against when we lost to the Leafs last year, I think they beat us in overtime because we only got to 1 point when the game that we clinched the playoff spot. I think that's the last time we lost the game in overtime.
Yeah.
So
No, we lost a game a few games ago.
Did we in overtime?
Yeah, it was
we got
7-4-1.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It just seems like we never lose in overtime, but you're right. Yeah.
What's wild is in past seasons, I mean, there was one year we led the league in overtime losses.
Oh yeah.
Usually, we only have one right now. So, yeah, like I said in the start of the video, this is exactly where we needed to be.
Right. Right.
Like in the mix. We're like tied for second place. We got Carolina on Friday, which looks like I'm going to that game. My first game.
Good.
And shout out to Adam, and shout out to Mark for the ride. I'm looking forward. Mark and I had a ritual last year going to games together, especially during the playoffs, where we would just talk the whole ride down about the game and the team and whatnot. So
right.
Oh, like I said, the guys on the broadcast were talking about, how important Montour and Ekblad, but they totally slighted Bennett.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I guess, it's because everybody's they're looking at it like they knew Ekblad and Montour would be out. And yeah, I mean, Bennett's played a period and a third,
I don't.
Yes. But I'll say this. The longer that Ekblad and Bennett can stay out and we play like this, just sit down, rest.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah,
Bennett's going to be out a while.
Yeah.
I think. I said at least 6 to 8 weeks.
Well, I mean, look, if we keep winning, right? If we keep winning, we'll take it. We got Carolina, and that's the kicker, because here we go. We won 2 in a row, and now here comes that attempt at 3 in a row, and the Canes are going to come in here, and they can't be happy with us.
Oh no, just like Toronto, they want revenge, especially Brindamore.
Yeah,
and Brindamore, when he played the game, he was a hard-nosed guy. So. What do you do? I know my answer, but what do you do about the goalies?
I've been talking about that.
In?
I've been talking about that on a podcast. Let me get to the.
After Stolarz' performance last game, and Bob made some great saves last night, I say you go with Bob again.
Yeah, no, you have to right now, because we've got that West Coast trip and that back-to-back coming up. So Bob has played 2 games in a row. So Hurricanes, Blackhawks, Sharks would be 5 games in a row. And then you put Stolarz in against the Kings on the 16th. And then Bob comes back on the 17th.
I don't know if I want to give Bob more than 5 games in a row. It seems.
No, but that would be 5. It would be 5 if we did it that way. I mean, and it's complicated because you're not going to put him against the Hurricanes. You ain't going to do that. And the next game, Stolarz. You're not going to put him in against but the game after that is the Blackhawks, and that's the game Stolarz got pulled. So you really don't want to put him in there. And then you'd think maybe put him against the Sharks, but then you've got that back-to-back coming up.
That's okay. So I put him against the Sharks at 1-11.
And put Bob in the back-to-back?
What's that?
We play the Sharks on the Tuesday, and then we play back-to-back Thursday and Friday. So if you play Stolarz on Tuesday, you're going to put Bob in for the back-to-back?
No, you put Bob in for the first. Who's the first game?
The Kings.
You definitely put Bob in. The Kings are
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Kings
Well,
are right there. They beat Vegas last night.
I know, but the next game is the Ducks, and they've been
Yeah,
beating
you
some good
put
teams too.
and they're a good team too. But you put Stola's in the Ducks game.
So you want to put Stolars in 2 of those 3 games on the West Coast trip?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Look at the teams we're playing.
Right.
The Sharks are, their record says they're a weak team. I don't know
Yeah.
what Anaheim's record is, but they're the weaker of the two. You want to have Bob in for the Kings. I got news for you. The Kings,
Yeah.
Brian tells me that they're playing real good. And after watching the game last night, I was
Yeah.
really surprised. Vegas at home, 11-1, and the Kings took it to them, which just goes to prove my point that any team can beat any team any night if they want it more and they work for it.
Right. Right. Right.
60 minutes, and they get good goaltending. Talbot was great last night, but anyway. All right, so now question 2. What do you do about the defense? I didn't mention Mahura. I still think Mahura is not playing as well as he did last year, and
if you want, what would I do right now? I would send Mike Riley to the AHL, call up Lucas Carlson, and put him next to Mahura and see what the hell happens.
I agree.
That's what I would do.
We like the guy, but they don't.
I know.
Or else he would have been up here already.
Right. No.
So we're gonna have a what's the word? An overflow of defensemen.
Yeah.
Look for a trade to be made. I just don't see Fitzgerald, Riley, those 2 guys. You got Carlson and Kierstead, and I just don't understand Zito picking up 2. Mikko Makula and
Mikula and Kulikov was enough.
And Kulikov, yeah, who's been playing since I called him out. He's been playing good.
Yeah, no, he was even laying a couple of hits last night, which we need.
Who's been hitting a lot more?
Yeah. There he is. Yeah,
he threw one in the corner. Yeah, I'm so proud, and he's doing the sellies.
Yeah, no.
The only thing that bums me out is in between periods and at the end of the game, there's no Gudis for him to do the highest. Somebody needs to step up and take Gudis's place.
I'm kind of surprised that they haven't done something new that way, but what can you do?
Anyway, let me just give you my while it's in my brain, before it goes out of my brain, my take on Johnny Boy.
Sure.
All right, so in fact, shout out to Jacob because we were DMing each other last night on Twitter. So, we both had the same thought at the same time. Huberdeau, it's like a divorce, and he can't get over the divorce. Like, he's so sad and heartbroken.
Right.
So obviously, and shout out to Jack for bringing this up. Huberdeau had a choice. He could sign his long-term contract, or he could have went free agent. He chose, the money.
Right.
So in that regard, I don't feel bad for him because he's still making big bucks. But I feel bad. My observation from early on, I kind of knew he wasn't going to get along with Sutter because not too many players get along with Sutter.
Right.
But he just did not look. He looked heartbroken from day one.
Yeah.
And especially the success the Panthers had last year, he's probably looking in the mirror going, fuck, I should be there. So seeing him hang his head like he did flashed me back to that Tampa game.
Yeah.
In fact, somebody, maybe it was you, posted a picture from that Tampa game. All right, so that's the second time he's been benched this year. Where's it going? I think eventually they're going to find a trading partner, not us, but they're going to find a trading partner. I think he's going to be out of there.
Well, there's an issue with that. He got a no-move clause.
He can waive it. That's
he
the
can
beauty.
waive it.
That's the beauty of a no. So in
He
other
can
words,
waive it, but so they've got to find somebody that he's willing to go to.
Montreal.
I mean, what does he think? The pressure is going to be less? I mean,
Doesn't matter. He'll be home.
right.
And if there's any place where his family is and his friends are that could get him out of this, mental dungeon, it's
Right.
there.
Right.
So many people are like, oh, if Calgary retains this and we can find a third party, bring him back. Hell no, he ain't coming back. Especially when he told Zito to fuck off and hung up on him.
Yeah, he ain't coming back here.
I know it's business, but
right
now we're at the stage where he comes back and the chemistry is thrown off.
Yeah, no, at this point, sign Reinhardt. You know what I mean?
Now,
yeah, go ahead.
You're so funny because you always we segue, and you're the one that brings up exactly what I was thinking. So now he's making 6.5. What do you think he's going to ask for in his new contract if he puts up 40 goals this year?
Okay, so when I did that review of the salary cap, the way I saw it was we had 19 million. You could have give or minus, but 19 million for Forsling, Montour, Reinhardt, and Lundell. Now, if you really wanted to go cheap on Lundell and give him less than Luosterainen, you could try to give him 2. He's an RFA. You hope he doesn't take you to arbitration because 2 is kind of. But let's just play pretend. Let's pretend. So now you got 17 million, right? If you could somehow, and again, this is all. If nobody else is going, if you're not getting anybody out, if you could talk Reinhardt into 7 and Forsling and Montour into 5 and give Lundell 2, everybody can stay. And I know that that's everybody taking less than they could get, but I mean, if you give Reinhardt 8 times 7, I mean, I know it's not my millions, right? But at that point it becomes, brother, how bad do you want to stay?
Because that's one major factor that comes into play because money's money, and of course you always want to make the most money, but the Stanley Cup is what they play for.
Right.
They're big kids. And, to go from a team, let's say Arizona's the one that offers them 10 million. Let's just throw a number out there. It's crazy. I said 10 because it's crazy numbers. All right, let's say 8. 8. Because he's going to want to get paid. You think he's ever going to win a cup with Arizona?
Well, exactly.
They're so close. So I'd like to think that way, but it's not realistic. I think, first of all, I think they're going to want 8 years. That security, that one more year. And like I said, I think Montour and Forsling are going to get between 6 and 7 million.
There's no way.
I'm telling you.
I know what you. I know.
All the agents gonna. I mean, there's other defensemen.
Let's put it this way: the only way we're signing those guys to the money that they're worth is if you don't want to break up the core, you got to trade Spencer Knight. That's the only way you do it. It's the only way that you're going to clear up.
That was another dumb contract.
So
for a kid that played 1 year. I agree. Or, who else I think should go? Unfortunately, he's got a no trade. Yeah. But you dump that $7.5 million contract, which is going to be coming up for renewal, and he's going to be gone anyway. But I don't even know if we'll have the money to sign him. Aaron Ekblad, I'm talking about.
Right. No, I understand.
We get rid of him, it solves our problem.
Well, yeah, but with that no move clause, he ain't. Why would he do that? You know what I mean? Why would he be willing to leave to help us keep the team together? You know what I mean? It's just,
I was just spitballing.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. We'll see how it goes. I hope we don't end up in a situation where, I mean, I suppose that they could move Rodriguez. Okay. I'm not saying I want to, but now we have to
they
think
gotta.
about this.
It's
You know,
horrible to think about Spencer
right,
Knight, getting traded, but obviously that's a lot of money, and him going on to become like another Markstrom, where he stars for
right,
another team.
right, right.
But the business side of hockey is so complex with the cap and whatnot that I wouldn't want to be a GM because there's really tough decisions to make.
Yeah. No,
But
it is. So when we hear what Forsling and Montour get, then we'll know.
if
Then we'll,
we could get them between 5.5 and 6, I think 5 is a low number.
it
I
is. It
mean,
totally
let's put
is.
it this way: Uyghur's getting what, 6.5,
6.25. Six
whatever.
and a quarter. Right. Well, I'm just saying.
So if he's getting that money, trust me, their agents are saying, it's like housing, it's like comps on the houses, and those two
Right.
guys are better players than Uyghur.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that pass by Forsling. Holy shit!
I know,
I've
right?
watched that replay 4 times, and 2 of them in slow motion. How he got it through the legs
I don't
of
have any
at
idea.
least 2 players.
Right. Right. No, that was wicked crazy. So look, hearing that they're working on the extensions for Forsling and Montour tells me he's trying to sign everybody. I think you figure out what those two guys are going to get, then you look at what you got left, and I mean, I don't want to trade Rodriguez, right? But at some point, you got to make room also for guys like Samoskevich, Sordiff, and if it costs us Rodriguez to keep Reinhardt, okay, you have to do it. You
What
know
is
what
he
I mean?
making? 3?
3.
Okay.
That would give us just enough money.
Okay.
So
Trade
yeah,
him
right,
because we got those other 2 guys.
right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So hopefully it'll work out. That's one name I hadn't thought about. I hate to do it, but
But you just got to look at the most expensive contracts.
but and the one name that it's gnawing at me because you all know I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. 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 But Lundell, if you move Lundell, he's also gonna clear enough space to keep those guys, and we would get a hell of a return.
What's funny is like on the Huberto trade, the Chucky trade, Lundell was untouchable.
Right. I don't want to do it either.
All of a sudden, he's touchable now.
Well, I don't want to do it either. But at this point, you cannot. What good is it if you lose Reinhardt? Because right now he's driving the bus.
Well, let's just say Fitzgerald and Riley are making $850, $900, whatever the minimum is. That's almost $2 million right there.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could do what we did before. There's still not enough money, but I mean, like last year when we had no extra players, you know what I mean, on the roster. I mean, we could do that. But
when Forsling and Montour come back, okay. So we got 6, and then who would be there? We got Carlson, Kierstead.
right.
We would have Belinkus. That's 3 right there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can't. I mean, extra up. Like they'd have to be in the AHL on 2-way deals. That's what I mean. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. If anybody I trust, it's Zito. But yeah, every time Reinhardt, he's just like, that's $1 million, that's $1 million. Every goal, he's like, that's $1 million, that's $1 million, that's $1 million. I mean, the man is possessed right now. But the one thing that will help us, last thing I'll say, is that a lot of times he had a really good bridge deal. You know what I mean? It's not like he's been making like Luosterainen making like 3 or 4 all these years. You know what I mean? He was making 6.5. So there's a little he might be able to take that into consideration a little bit in terms of it's not like this is the only decent deal he's going to get. He's coming off a decent, he got paid for the player he was in Buffalo. You know what I mean?
But he also, what he put up last year?
He's getting 35, 36 goals a year. Yeah. And he's on pace for like freaking 90 now or some crazy thing. I mean,
the face-offs, the PK.
Right.
He's a big contributor. And now that he finally has things cooking with Barkov.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But then you don't want to get rid of Rodriguez because Rodriguez has been the secret ingredient to get him cooking with Barkov. So that brings me back to
what a dilemma.
I know it. Dustin said, yeah, Godjovic. I keep saying Godovich, but it's Godjovic. We'll be playing in Charlotte. Now that's the guy who Zito got to. Remember last year when we got that guy? What the hell was his name? I keep thinking his name was Smith, but
Giovanni Smith.
There, I couldn't think of his first name. When Zito plucked him, and we're like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And he was to make up for Hornquist and give us a little bit of an edge.
He sucked.
Well, apparently this guy got Jovic, is supposed to give us a little bit of extra oomph in the lineup. He's 6'2", 209.
Yeah, and they got this kid Lockwood.
Yeah, but we need somebody. Look, I get that we don't need to have fights and everything like that, but there's got to be somebody that at least gets in Tom Wilson's face after he does that to Luosterainen. Because
that's a good point. That's one thing we are missing.
Right. And
Bennett comes back, he's the guy.
Right. Yeah.
I think in a Lomberg Wilson.
Yeah, no, Lomberg Wilson is not. It's not good.
Yeah, Wilson's a tough mother when it comes to fighting.
Yeah, no, I mean I get it, but I'm just glad Luosterainen was okay because that was nasty, man. You're going down like that and just swing your leg like that. And how the hell do refs not see that?
Yeah, that's a Brad Marchand type of thing. Actually, he did that. I don't know if it was Edmonton, but he did that a few games ago.
Is that right?
He didn't get suspended. I don't even think he got him. But the guy's injured now, and he's out.
Yeah. Dylan says Reinhart passed Ekblad for the quickest goal in Panthers overtime history by 1 second. Yeah, we were wondering about that on the stream last night. So thank you for that. I figured it couldn't have been much quicker, the record. You know what I mean?
Again, the Rodriguez pass from behind the net to center ice, tape to tape, was incredible.
Yeah.
And then the Barkov. Again, I don't know if he meant to bang it off the boards or he just meant to pass it and it just happened to hit the boards. But whatever. Reinhart made that play.
Right.
And
but just the positioning, just for them to be able to do that spread out like that. You know what I mean? I mean, because you got Rodriguez behind the goal line, you got Barkov practically at center ice, and Reinhardt's already gone. You know what I mean? So they're already up here thinking 2 steps ahead when that happens, because when Reinhardt sees Rodriguez with the puck, he's taken off into the offensive zone, right? So they're 2 steps ahead. It's like pinball, and in that move, oh my God,
who knows if Reinhardt does that if he hasn't, if it hadn't been for the fact that he's really cooking right now and he's got, confidence is oozing out of his pores.
I think my next little short video should be a little spoof about how this is gonna be. I got an idea now, because I should do a little spoof skit about what happens now when Zito calls other GMs, because it's like Buffalo click, Calgary click. You know what I mean? It's like, don't block that dude's number, man, because he's just going all over the league robbing people. But it is true though, right? I mean, it's just like you look at the team and it's like last night on the ice, Barkov, Lundell. Was there anybody on the ice last night that we drafted? I don't think so.
Kulikov.
Cool. Yeah, but that don't count. That's cheating. but yeah, there's two guys we drafted on the ice last night, and the rest is Zito just going, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that. And you know
GM of the year.
how the hell? How?
It's just
That's like me losing a contest for the best YouTuber that does hockey with puppets.
I mean, Lou Lamoriello, they picked that year he should have won Zito. And they picked Lou Lamoriello for 20 years plus of service.
He didn't even get second place last year. He got third place.
I'm sure he's okay with not winning that trophy.
Yeah.
If we win the other trophy.
Yeah, if we win the other trophy, right? But yeah, so
anyway, we could end it by just saying where we need to be.
Yes.
And 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, because they're coming back soon. Yep.
And I will not. I just will not say I'm happy, because if I say I'm happy, we immediately going to lose. So I'm still pissed off. I just don't know what I'm pissed off about.
The question is,
inside, I'm still mad. Damn it.
The question for all of those guys: how are they going to play when they come back? How long is it going to take for them to get into rhythm and assimilate to what's going on with the other players? I mean, I'd love to see Montour have another, bang up year like he did last year, but we'll see.
I think it'll be fine. I think they'll be ready. So
the power play is going to be better, and we haven't really talked about that. The power play still needs some tweaking, some work.
Yeah, when we get our guys back, if it still sucks, then we'll worry about it.
All right, you know what I mean? Fair enough.
Yep. All right, Dustin, Dylan, everybody that joined us this morning, really, really appreciate it. And so what's today? Today's Wednesday. I'll be back later with something, because now the brain is cooking up some ideas. And then we'll see you tomorrow night on the stream. Thanks for everybody coming out last night. We had 98 people on the stream last night. So we must be doing something right. So appreciate all the support. And Stu and I see you again soon.